Hey,
We're trying.
Well, as they used to
We're
say,
trying.
as they used to say on TV, a very special episode of Blossom.
Yeah, right.
Uh,
Wait.
wait.
Don't give away all the entertaining stuff yet.
good lines now.
You just signed on. I apologize. I will say this more than once for the lighting. We are in my dad's bedroom, so it's a bit. It's not ideal lighting, I would say, but
No,
we're making it work.
It's actually crummy light.
It's crummy lighting. It is, but this
Good
is
God.
where we are, friends. This is where we're at.
We have missed so many Sundays with you all. We thought, well, better this than nothing.
Better this than nothing.
Maybe.
You will be the final judge.
Yeah, right. Of whether this is
whether
in fact
this is
better than nothing. Hey, is this better than nothing? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe it is.
Oh gosh.
Oh gosh, it's working though. We like that.
Where do we begin?
Oh, I see what you're looking for.
Okay.
Looking for something.
We have
He's looking for some. Who of us isn't, Mom? Who of us isn't?
Mom refers to Jesse's mother,
My mother.
my wife, who is here in the room with us,
Yes.
along with one of our dogs.
No, they're here. They're both here.
They're both
They're
here.
both
They're both here.
While
Hang on.
Jesse's husband is
Wrangling the small
wrangling
human.
the my granddaughter, her daughter.
Yes. All these
Hour.
things.
Hour.
Hour. Sean says, well, I'm here. So are we, Sean. New setting. How are you two doing? Yes, it is a new setting because I say we are in my parents' bedroom. Sitting in my dad's hospital bed in my parents' bedroom. So we are just doing
Which I might add, it's a damn sight better than being in the hospital bed in the
hospital. Way better. Yes. Hello. In bed with Leonard. Joan Rivers got there first. You win, Craig. You win the day. What we got over here? Hi, Leonard and Jesse. It's great to see both of you again. I've been keeping you in my thoughts and prayers and hope you're doing well. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Ryan. Ken says, great to see you, Leonard. Yes, we are here. We are, as I say, sitting in this hospital bed. So I've posted a little bit on Instagram about what's been going on here. Basically, first of all, we got a hospital bed for my dad here at home because it's easier for him. And that means I got to choose the sheets. So he's got Bluey. Today you'll see Dinosaur behind us. And I've also got like a circusy themed one because you know what? If you're going to be stuck in this bed for a few weeks, why not have a good time?
I asked for a high thread count.
Thank you. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Larry
Which
says
didn't work.
Larry says Jurassic Park bed sheets. Ray Harryhausen would be so proud.
Mhm.
These are not even Jurassic Park. These are just your basic dinosaur
for
sheets.
Toddlers.
Yes, these are toddler sheets, as my mother's pointing out. I'm going to say a little older than toddler. It's a single bed, you know. Jesse, how are you doing as well? Thank you, Alan. I'm all right. It's been a wild couple of weeks for us. So I'm going to do the very short version.
Go ahead.
For those of you who do not know, my dad, at the very beginning of June, he got a scratch on his leg, and that scratch got infected and turned to a staph infection, and then he went into sepsis. So we were in the hospital for 8 days, which was a delight, as you can imagine. We brought him home. Realized that
Via ambulance,
brought him home. Drama queen, right?
Well, it was my first time being transported.
Was that your very first time in an ambulance?
I do believe so.
Fancy. Yeah, in a gurney, no less. No, not a scratch from the dogs. He scratched his leg. He tripped on something and
Didn't
scratched
even
his
realize
leg.
I'd scratched my leg. That's how minor a scratch. It
It
seemed.
was a bigger scratch than that, but you just don't notice anything.
Okay.
He's very much a boy who doesn't notice things. So let's say he was in the hospital for 8 days. We brought him home.
8 fun-filled days.
Fun-filled days. It's way easier for him to be in this hospital bed because for quite a number of days he couldn't really walk or stand. And the hospital bed made it easier for him to get up and down when he needed to. Now, doing much, much, much better. Your leg looks better every day. And
having flushed the entire month of January away.
June. That's how flushed it was.
Yeah.
He spent several weeks in bed, really couldn't move very much. Now, thankfully, getting up more and moving a bit.
Able to take steps.
And functioning a little bit more. So yeah, on the mend. It's just slow. And he has not been downstairs in over a month. He has not been downstairs except for when they brought him home in aforementioned ambulance. So yeah, so we keep him up here, very rear window of us. And Daisy loves the hospital bed because it's like a toy and like that. So thankfully, the part that you're seeing of him is doing really well. This bit, doing great. That bit, not as good, but
getting better.
Vastly improved.
Getting better.
We will be at Comic-Con. We were supposed to go and we are still going to Comic-Con.
Doing 2 panels this year.
2 panels. We have our panel that we always do on Friday, which is called You're Wrong, Leonard Maltin.
I think it's called this year.
You retitled it to You're Still Wrong, Leonard Maltin. And
where we invite open debate.
Next year, wrong again.
Next year, wrong again. Extra wrong, the wrongest. You're Wrong, Leonard Maltin, Electric Boogaloo. Yeah, that's all right. Those things. Yeah. But as I say, we will be at Comic-Con. Our panel is that Friday at 4:00. You have a panel with Mark Evanier on Thursday at 11
a.m. Where we're going to reminisce and schmooze.
Yes.
About the colorful characters we have known from the world of comics and animation and show business in general.
There you go. So we will be there at Comic-Con. He will be in a wheelchair, so he's a little bit harder to see. But thankfully, I'm quite easy to spot. So if you see us, please, by all means, come say hi. And we'll still be here next week, so we can keep talking. The Coco shirt, hate spell correct. Pardon? Yes, he's wearing a Coco shirt, which I love. It's one of a friend of ours who we've talked about before. Mauricio has a company called Rock and Pins, and he does all sorts of really, really cool stuff. And he loves Betty Boop and all things Betty Boop. So that's a blast. Great to see you guys. Oh, 1 second. It moved.
It moved.
It moved. Hang on. There we go. Great to see you guys. I am in Ensenada, Mexico, and saw Superman last night in 3D and in Spanish. How was it? I really want to see it.
I'm hearing good things.
I really, really want to go see it. I have not seen a movie in a theater in a very, 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 very long time. But am hoping I get to go see that one soon. I would like to see it.
I recorded my first podcast this week.
Yes, for the other show that he does.
For the show called The Movie Guide with Maltin and Davis, with me and Guy Davis, an Aussie film journalist, critic, a reporter.
A journo, honey.
A journo, as they say down there. And with Guy and I have fun talking about a movie that we like, that we revisit.
Yep.
The most recent one we recorded was Jurassic Park. And I don't think that's up yet. I don't think that's posted yet.
I don't think so, no.
But if you look up The Movie Guide, which I hope you do, you'll find at least a dozen episodes already.
Mm-hmm.
Where we just
it's just you two chatting, having a good time.
Back and forth, having a good time.
Simon says, I got a group. Thank you, Logan. I got group A streptococcus infection with cellulitis following a minor graze on my knee. Hospital, all that stuff. I'm so glad you're better. Simon, I have had cellulitis 3 times in both arms and in one of my legs. It sucks. And I'm very sorry you had to go through that. Liam is saying that he loved your class, which would be his USC class, and is signing up for it again before I graduate. And I want to see you there. You will see him there this fall.
I'll be there.
Don't you worry. 27 years. He loves it so much. And it's such an important thing he gets to do. So very, very much looking forward to the next semester. Don't forget to add the bumpers to the wheelchair so Leonard can play bumper cars at Comic-Con. Let me tell you. The thing that I want is I want someone to invent a wheelchair that has a sidecar attachment, because what I've been trying to figure out is how I'm going to push Daisy and my dad at the same time. So I'm thinking we're just going to get Daisy a sidecar and attach her. We could also have Daisy push the wheelchair because that can only end well.
She's very strong.
She is very strong.
As it happens, she is unusually strong.
Very strong.
For a 3.5-year-old girl.
But yeah, don't know. So, dear father of mine, what have you been doing while stuck in this bed for so many weeks? What have you and my mother been doing every single day?
Mostly watching Turner Classic Movies.
Mostly watching TCM all day long. Mostly watching TCM.
All the live long day.
And you have had, you've seen some stuff that you thought was good. You've seen some stuff again. You've seen some stuff where you went, ah.
Yeah. It's interesting. A film will come along at random and we'll say, oh, we know this film. We've seen it. Well, let's watch. And then we get involved. We get hooked. And we say, well, that was fun. And it really, if you're watching a good movie or if you're watching even a well-made movie, if it works, if all the gears are working and the stars are in alignment, you can have a very pleasant time watching it again, especially a high def, presentation, and all of that. So we spent July 4th, Independence Day, as most red-blooded Americans of our vintage would do, watching Yankee Doodle Dandy with Jimmy Cagney and company, followed by 1776. And I can't think of a better way to celebrate 4th of July.
They showed us that for the first time in 4th grade. They showed us 1776, watching it on a very small TV, which is there are some of those movies where I think most of us have been introduced to them in school on screens that are much too small.
Right. Well,
but they work.
Well, Alice and I were lucky enough to see the original production of 1776 on Broadway with William Daniels and Ken Howard and John McCullum and
the whole lot.
And Howard Da Silva and Blythe Danner and everybody else.
Paul Hartman.
Which they replicated for the screen. Jack Warner, no longer with Warner Brothers, independently produced this movie and had the wisdom or foresight to use all the original cast.
Rare. Which is so rare.
Yep.
So rare that they would do that.
And then some years later, you can probably date it. We were in New York.
12.
We're 12.
I was 12.
We all got to see the revival, the Broadway revival of the show with Brent Spiner as John Adams. And
to this day, one of the best shows I've ever seen. Without question, one of the best shows I've ever seen. It was a great
production.
Yeah.
It was a production worthy of the original.
It was fantastic. My mom and I love the album. We listened to that. Love that album. It's not on iTunes, which is annoying only because it used to be so easy to take stuff from a CD and put it onto, your computer and then put it on. It's not easy to do that anymore. So I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to finagle, but it is such a fantastic production and the numbers were so good. And we got to go backstage. And say hi to Brent Spiner, who is the loveliest man. You can listen to our podcast with him. It's a little while ago now, but we interviewed Brent for the show a few years ago, and he's just fantastic. He really is fantastic. But yeah, that's without question one of the greatest theater experiences I ever had.
And how wonderful to have it on film.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no. I mean, I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. But how wonderful to have
the original on film for us to watch, for sure. No, it's very, very fortunate thing.
I don't know if they ever.
Jesus, already. Craig says, I just counted. There have been 35 episodes of the movie guide. Have you really done that many?
Really? God.
Yes. How time flies. No kidding. Larry's saying, add the Music Man to your 4th of July rotation.
Well, yes.
He goes by TCM, man. It's whatever TCM's planning. That's the one that he goes by. Alan saying, not Blythe Danner. Betty Buckley played Martha Jefferson in the original production. That is correct. You are right, Alan. That is true. 1 second. What are your thoughts on Warner Brothers planning to split into 2 companies? What does it mean for TCM? As politely as possible, who the hell knows? Honestly, there's no way to know anything. There's no way to know if something's going to be good or bad or great or awful. I have no idea what's going to happen with TCM. Nobody does. Realistically speaking, nobody does. I don't even know if they know. So we just have to cross our fingers.
All I hope and care about is that they leave it alone.
Yeah.
In the past week, I've seen two Vitaphone shorts that I'd never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Life is good.
Right.
In the year 2025, to be able to be introduced to something that was made 90 years ago.
Yeah.
I'd never seen that, that's my meat.
It is the simple things, isn't it? But it's exciting. It's very exciting. Yeah, Nick, I get being worried because that's always scary. Again, this is the thing with all of this, everybody buying everybody. I don't know. I don't know where anything will land. As I say, I don't think anybody there knows realistically where anything will land. So we just have to be hopeful because that's kind of all we can do. Brent Spiner did lose his home in the fires.
The fires, terrible.
He was renting. It was not the home they owned, but he did. But thank goodness he's fine. His son was fine, his wife, everybody. So yeah, that was I checked in with him not long ago just to say hello because I realized it had been a little bit and he told me about it. And as I say, just such a lovely man, such a really kind and lovely man. And I was sad for him that happened. But, like a lot of Angelinos, it's a pretty scary thing, but it sort of just is what it is. What are you going to do? 1 second. Oh, somebody mentioned before that they're surprised that you weren't writing while you've been stuck in bed. The truth is, initially when he came home, he was mostly sleeping.
Yeah, a lot of sleeping.
A lot of sleeping to heal his body.
And when awake, a little out of focus.
Yeah, had a bit of I just kicked the thing. A bit of a hard time. His body went through a lot because of the infection and then the sepsis and everything else.
Very strong antibiotics.
Very strong antibiotics. So it's hard. And so initially there was not going to be writing happening. More recently, you're starting to try again a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's tough, when your body is still sort of fighting you. It's not the easiest thing to sort of sit and think, And
I'm used to exercising on a regular basis.
Yeah, getting up and doing all of that. Yep. I will say that if you need a cheerleader, Daisy, my daughter, is the best at that. When the other day I was trying to get my dad up to walk a little bit and Daisy was full on, like she could have used pom-poms. Come on, Hampa, you can do it, Hampa. It was very, very, very cute. So yeah, we're
by the way, she's not Hispanic, but
Hampa. That would be abuelo. Abuelo.
For some reason, at some juncture,
instead of saying grandma and grandpa, she calls them Hamma and Hampa, and we don't correct it because why? Will that stay forever? I don't know. But for now, I love it.
Yep.
Darla is asking, what's your favorite and least favorite Marx Brother movies?
Well, my favorite, this is a small point of controversy, is A Night at the Opera. Now, Marx Brothers purists would say Duck Soup because Duck Soup is absolutely pure, 100% Marx Brothers. No love interest, no romantic subplot, no unnecessary songs. And I do love Duck Soup, but I think I saw Night at the Opera first, and I think it's just about a perfect movie.
Oh yeah.
And I don't mind Kitty Carlisle and Alan Jones. They're not intrusive. The songs are fun. We once, when we were in Australia, we'd taken a cruise to New Zealand and Australia and remained in Sydney for several extra days. And we saw the ship off and started singing Kosi Kosa, because that's what you do when a ship is disembarking. Anyway.
Obviously.
Night at the Opera.
Yeah. And least favorite. Do you have a least?
Well, A Night in Casablanca is not a very good movie by anybody's measure. So I think that would have to be it. And if you count Love, I don't count Love Happy as a Marx Brothers movie. It's a movie that has Groucho in it.
They love watching, to tell the truth,
What's My Line?
What's My Line?
And of course, You Bet Your Life.
You Bet Your Life. All that stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
You can see some good Groucho in there.
Yep.
Never a bad time. The other day, I forget what we were scrolling. They were on TV with something, and I was trying to show Daisy Harpo with the harp because it's I love him so much, and I don't think it's a difficult one to say that the easiest one for a kid to gravitate towards would be Harpo.
Harpo, sure,
because he looks a bit like a clown and he's sort of silly and sweet.
And you don't have to. There's no language barrier.
Yeah. So I think that was very, yeah, she sort of stared and smiled. I only could come on for 3 seconds. Just wanted to send love. Thank you so much. It's nice to see everybody. And hi, Lottie. Lottie's saying, what's your favorite Barbara Stanwyck film?
Oh, man, that's tough.
And
what
were we just watching the other day?
Double Indemnity.
Yeah.
Meet John Doe. She's so good in everything. She's just, and all those pre-code Warner's films, like Babyface. I don't think I could pick one. I really don't. I'm not being coy about it. She is extraordinary.
We were talking about. I'm always interested in. I talk about this pop culture. How does something water?
Water. Thank
Use
you.
your words. I'm always interested in sort of the pop culture aspect of who survives in pop culture and who doesn't. So the idea that James Dean, both the Rebel Without a Cause, both the shirt, the red coat, the jeans, that is something that stays for people.
Right.
Him in general, even if they don't know who he is, the image of him is something they're familiar with.
He's become a pop culture icon.
Yeah. Marilyn Monroe, similarly.
And yet many people who feel that way, and maybe have those posters framed on their walls,
have never seen anything that they've been in.
Never seen them act.
And as I say, that's the thing with Marilyn Monroe, is that there are a lot of people who love that kind of thing, and again, don't know Marilyn Monroe. Lottie, what's your favorite Stanwyck performance? But yeah, I think that it's just kind of interesting because Barbara Stanwyck, as much in the film loving community, and for the folks that love classic film, of course, she's a name that everybody knows, but she's not a name that everybody knows in general, if that makes sense. We were talking, it's like, you have folks like Greta Garbo, again, photos that sort of become legendary that people will identify, even if they don't necessarily know the name. They could at least go, yeah, I'm familiar with that image. I'm familiar with this look. Casablanca stuff gets,
right.
They might not know who Humphrey Bogart is, but they might be familiar with the image.
Right.
So all of that just to me is really fascinating.
Let me recommend, if you haven't seen, or if you haven't been interested enough to see, the new HBO documentary called My Mom Jane.
I'm glad you guys saved it because I want to watch it.
It's Mariska Hargitay's film about her mother, Jane Mansfield, who of course died tragically young.
Yeah.
And in a horrible way, in an auto accident. And Mariska, who has become a star on television, 20 years on Law and Order, SVU, and who's a damn good actress, was 3 years old when her mother died.
In the car crash.
Yes.
She was in the car.
In the car. She survived in that car.
And they didn't find her at first. It was a whole thing. It's crazy.
Anyway,
the story's crazy. The whole story's crazy.
She's avoided learning more about her mother. She's kind of she's compartmentalized her mother's life, stardom, existence. She's a little embarrassed by it because her mother was such almost a caricature of a sex symbol, which is how she played it. And now, at a certain age, she's decided it's time. It's time she got to know who her mother was, what she was all about. It's a very intensely personal documentary, and really good, and loaded with unexpected revelations. Well, is that a redundancy?
No.
And loaded with revelations.
Unique revelation.
Yeah, unique, yeah, really unique revelations. And it's well worth seeing. Well worth seeing. Whereas you mentioned Garbo, there's a new Garbo documentary or a newish Garbo documentary on Netflix, I believe, hosted by Numi Rapace, the actress who played the girl with the dragon tattoo.
That's what she's best known for.
That I really disliked. It's very pretentious. I almost turned it off, but I stayed. And it covers all the facts of her life. It has the right film clips. It has every inch of newsreel footage that people gathered, even home movie footage that people gathered of her walking on the streets of Manhattan as she tended to do. But not worth it. Not worth it.
Eric saying, I was reading Superman serial to serial. Do you know why the producers of the TV show didn't consider hiring Kirk Allen after the big success of the serial?
No, I don't.
There you go.
No, I don't. But I'm glad they hired George Reeves because that's who I grew up watching. And I love.
He's my Superman. I
love that TV show. Boy, did I love that TV show.
He's so handsome and charismatic. And he looks like Superman. You know, he has the whole thing. I think he's pretty perfect. And
when we moved here to LA, and I came to understand that Los Angeles City Hall, which I believe went up in 1927,
was not in fact. Yeah. What do you mean it's not really the Daily Planet?
Well,
just so funny.
I have an inordinate amount of fondness for that building for that very reason.
Oh yeah, because we don't have a lot of. There are buildings here that are famous, but not a lot of them look like they looked anymore.
Yeah.
Many of them have been changed. So it's nice to have something that just looks like it looked.
Intact.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kevin,
like the Bradbury building.
Yeah, that's true. Kevin is saying, what have you been reading while recuperating? Well, there's one thing in particular that he is enjoying very much, and it's an early copy.
I got an advanced copy, so I can't say a lot about it, but I can say positive things.
Yeah.
My friend Scott Iman, who is just a brilliant biographer. His last book was on Cary Grant. Great, definitive book, I would call it. Most of it are. For
the time he puts into them,
great books on John Wayne, on John Ford, on Ernst Lubitsch, on Mary Pickford. And his latest one is on Joan Crawford. It's coming out this fall. I've gotten an advanced copy to read. I'm about 125 pages in, and it is very compelling. And as always, he comes up with nuggets of information that are not widely known, if at all, and very readable, as he always is. So bravo, Scott. And I can't wait to. I'm pouring through it as quick as I can.
Yeah, that's. Told you guys, my dad is a really fast reader. Next to my mom and I, who are both severely dyslexic, and it takes us 12 years to get through anything. We both are very jealous of my dad's ability to take a 400-page book and go, "This is fine. This whole thing, I can do it in 20 minutes." But yeah, you've been loving that book. Yep. Is there anything else? I think that's really the only thing at the moment.
Well, as I say, I was not quite in focus.
I know, I've been here, but I'm asking you.
So
I'm aware of that.
Normally, I would have gone through a stack of books.
Yeah.
In this month.
Yes. No. Normally, there'd be many more.
5-week sojourn here into sickbed land.
Yep.
But no, I don't think there's anything else.
Yeah. Craig is saying there has never been a good and fair biography of Joan Crawford until now. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, and as in all of his subjects, Scott is very fair-minded.
Yeah,
that's why I like his.
Well,
John
he
Wayne
spends like
so
5
much.
years or more
on
these, but he's kind of like Ken Burns in that way. I was thinking about that because he's kind of like when we've known Ken Burns for a very, very, very long time. He's a wonderful man and a fascinating man. And one of the things is that you may know it takes years for him to do his documentaries, and he usually is doing multiple at one time.
He told us he had 7.
Yeah, I think it was
in
8.
various
It
stages.
was 8 at different stages of everything.
Pre-production, production, post-production.
And I feel like that Scott, though he doesn't do it that way, Scott spends years on each one of his books. It's not a year, it's 4 years, it's 5, it's a long time to really bring them all together. So they're labors of love, and I think it shows.
We haven't yet had an opportunity to watch Ken's latest.
Yeah.
On the American Revolution.
Yeah.
Which I look forward to.
Yeah. Man, oh man. Harrison Engel says, I recently finished Lee Server's biography of Robert Mitchum, Baby I Don't Care.
Which I don't think I've read. I have it on my shelf.
Yeah.
But I hear good things about that. And
it's...
I never run out of stuff to read.
No, God, there's so much. There's always so much.
And actually, it's somewhat amusing. The timing of this what do we call this? Illness?
Whoopsie daisy?
Whoopsie daisy?
I don't know.
Interruption.
There you go.
Interruption.
Leonard's interruption.
Yes.
Leonard's leg going rogue.
Couldn't have come at a more timely moment, because I just turned in a book with you.
Yeah.
And a book with my friend Nat Segaloff, whose new book on Bogart and John Huston is also just out. But we,
the deadline for the book that we're working on was the Friday of the week he went into the hospital. So he went into the hospital on a Tuesday, and we sent an email that was basically like, we're going to be a little late.
It was all written.
It was done.
All written and turned in. But the copy editor had
We've been doing
queries,
editing on it. We've been doing editing.
So that had to be done. So we had a little bit of cleanup work to do.
Yeah, that was entertaining.
But had it come earlier, we would have been screwed.
Yeah. That is the accurate word for it. The book we're working on is for TCM, and they came to us and asked if we would do this. And it's called Movie Night Menus. And I don't remember what the other part of it is. But basically it's movie recommendations to watch with your family. That comes also with a recipe that you can make. All the recipes that we chose are relatively simple, because I wasn't going to try to, we weren't going to try and 4-course meal this thing. So if,
summer dinners, summer lunches, summer snacks,
desserts. So just something fun that you can talk about the movie, watch it with your family, make something along with it. So it won't be out until next year, but we had to finish it recently.
They hope to unveil it.
Yeah, the next TCM
Film Festival.
So fingers crossed that happens. 1 second. Oh, Mike liked your dinosaur bed sheets. Thank you, Mike.
Oh, thank you.
As I say, when we got the hospital bed and I saw that it's a single size, that's the size of a hospital bed, hence us squished into it like this.
Yes.
I had to go buy sheets, and as I say, I just sort of thought, why would we get white? Why would you buy a single color sheet?
Who would do that?
When instead you could have something festive. If you're going to be stuck in bed, you might as well be smiling, right? That's my theory on it. But hey, yes. They're asking if you've seen Jurassic Park. No, again, he has not.
No, I've missed a month's worth of
He has not
screenings.
left the house. He went into the hospital on June 3rd, came out of the hospital
On the
June 11th, and has been here, as in literally right here, since then. So yeah, he has not seen anything.
No, so I have to catch up on
everything.
Yeah.
Mostly Superman and Jurassic Park, though.
I want to see Lilo and Stitch.
Do you?
No,
Yeah.
but I feel I ought to see Lilo and Stitch.
Do you? Just asking. Just asking. It'll be interesting. I don't know if you've read this at all, Daddy. I sent you an article, but there's a lot of the big studios are not going to be at Comic-Con this year.
Really?
Yeah. I guess part of it is, because I was talking to Claire about it, part of it is that it's bad timing, that they're going to be filming certain things.
Sure. I mean, talk about supply chain interruption.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Between the the COVID and the 2 strikes, the writer's strike and the
Yeah.
actor's strike, everything's off kilter.
Yeah.
And
There's just not a lot of work, and it's a whole thing. But yeah, so one of the big ones is filming right now, so they won't be at Comic-Con. But yeah, I was looking at that. There's not going to be a ton, which is interesting. Saying that, Gary Mariano has 14 panels. Mark Evanier, Gary Mariano, we have a handful of friends who they always have some.
He has 22 panels.
Of course, yeah. There you go. Evanier has 22 panels. It's madness, but it's fun. It'll be fun. And this is Daisy. Daisy, who is 3. This will be her 3rd Comic-Con. So it'll be interesting to see. She has yet to be afraid of anything. We'll see as she's now getting older if she becomes afraid of anything. We will see. I can't even begin to imagine. It's been interesting with Alan says, I saw Lilo and Stitch and really liked it. It's a lot of fun. One of Disney's better live action adaptations. There you go. Obviously, I'm just being silly about it.
I want to see Elio.
Oh yeah, Elio. Yeah. Craig is mentioning Woody Allen is publishing his first novel in September.
Yep.
What's with Baum? The new Pat McMilligan doorstop biography of Woody is excellent and very fair.
Yes, and doorstop meaning that thick.
Yeah, like your books. Comic-Con has returned to being about the hardcore, not really a key financial platform for the majors anymore. Well, that's what's interesting, isn't it? Is so I'll never forget. I will never forget. Many years ago now, my dad and I were standing on the floor at the convention center, and we heard this, what I can only describe as rumbling. And suddenly, hundreds of young, mostly girls, went running past us, and we had to hold each other. You don't remember? I can see in your face.
No.
We held each other to not be stampeded. What had happened was Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson had just come down for the Twilight panel, and they had just gotten to their booth where they were going to be doing photos and stuff. And it was one of the most terrifying experiences of my life. I felt like I was living in The Lion King, and my dad and I were going to die because of these young girls who could not wait to get to the Twilight area. That is, as people will tell you, when Comic-Con sort of started to change. It went from being focused really on art and the comic world and all that kind of stuff into the movies. And over the past few years, you have so there's one particular area called Hall H, and that's the big space that people will sleep overnight in line for.
Right.
Because they want to be the first to see whatever they're gonna bring out the new cast of the new Marvel movie. They're gonna do this, that, the other thing. And that's sort of like the big room, the big space. And what started to happen was, because some people really wanted to see those folks, that became the focus. Was we're going to go and we're going to see the new Spider-Man. We're going to see clips that nobody else is going to see, and it's bragging rights and all of that. For us, really, we love walking the floor and seeing what everybody has brought. It's neat to look at the tchotchkes. We love looking at the art. It's so much fun to look at the art. Artist Alley is a great stop every year.
Remember, I think it was the first time Scott, your husband, came with us, and I was able to introduce him to Joss Whedon.
Oh yeah, that was a good day.
That was a good day.
For this is before all of the Joss things came out, but my husband, who is a huge nerd and loves all of this stuff, he's a comic book person, loves all of that. He was very excited to meet Joss Whedon. That was a big win. That was a win for us. But getting to see the characters that they make, whether you're at Dark Horse or wherever, and it's just fantastic.
Although I still have the photos, thank goodness. Sometimes they have prototypes.
Yes,
on display.
I want you to know I'm still on the waiting list. Still on that waiting list.
One of the major manufacturers of stuff had a prototype of an old-fashioned comic book display spinner, a spinner rack, they used to call them. Yep. Made out of metal wire, intended to hold just the right size to hold a comic book. And there would be like 4 tiers, and you could spin this around. Well, they did it in miniature, like maybe 8 inches high.
And we are suckers for miniatures.
And I have a real one. I have a full-size one in our garage.
But that's not adorable.
No.
This is adorable.
And they never actually made it.
No. But you've gotten lots of other cool stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Many other cool things that we
Yes.
found there. 1 second. Go back to what Dave was saying. Dave, do you go to do you still go? Is it something that you like? I loved Old Comic-Con when I used to find international movies that were on the gray market and it was more about comics and selfies. Well, yeah, for sure. That's definitely, again, I understand sort of all the pieces of it. I understand why people would want to, I understand why you would want to wait in line and go in and get to see all the Marvel characters. I understand that. It's not our thing, but I get it. I also understand if you are more sort of on ourselves. I love seeing the way that people are dressed up. I love seeing the time and effort that they put into their cosplay.
And sometimes multi-generational.
Oh, yeah. That's a blast. Like, I'll tell you, sometimes we'll just be sitting in the lobby of the convention center, people watching. You'll go to take a break and you just sit there and it is a joy. It's an absolute joy. You talk to all kinds of people. Folks come from all over the world. It's really special and it's nice.
Several people have brought up Laurel and Hardy's County Hospital.
Yes.
Inevitably. And I'm so glad to know that, again, in this year 2025, there are people, not persons.
More than one.
More than one.
Asking about hard-boiled eggs and nuts.
Exactly right.
You like that?
I do.
You like that? I like it
I
too.
like it.
Including you, Dick. Thank you.
That's right. Harrison's asking, what's your favorite 70 millimeter theater in LA?
Oh, I don't know if I can compare.
Yeah.
I've seen.
It just depends on where you
seen
feel like going.
I've seen 70 at, I guess, the Egyptian and certainly at the Chinese.
Yeah.
For TCM.
Yeah.
But this year was special. This year I got to see this division.
And that was a big deal.
And when I went up to the booth, to the projection booth, thanks to our friend
Chapin Cutler
at Boston Light and Sound, I never understood how you could shoot and then project a film horizontally.
Yeah.
And I got to see it firsthand. And I posted about that.
I just realized this is, what? This is so funny, but because you guys are washed out, you can't really, this is still in my hair. This is what they gave us. I was at a 1-year-old's birthday party and they put these little plant things in our hair. I just realized it was still in my hair. Sorry, continue.
Anyway, just fascinating. VistaVision.
Yeah.
I remember the big V coming out. I was a kid when that 1954 it was introduced. So I was 5, 6, 7, 8 years old going to the movies. And when that logo came up with the special music they wrote for it, that sort of that little electric charge has never gone away.
James Michael saying Jaws is 50 years old. One of my first books was the 1975 movie guide. Well, thank you for both of those things.
We watched the special.
Yep. My parents just watched the special. So we were talking about it yesterday about
Laurent
Jaws.
Boussereau's special.
Yep.
On Jaws at 50. And I realized it's very well done, very thorough too, that really, in order to have memories of Jaws the first time around, you have to be at least 60 years old.
Which is wild.
And so all the eyewitnesses are of a certain age.
Do you remember where I saw Jaws for the first time?
No.
Okay. The very first cruise we ever did was a teeny tiny cruise to Mexico that went out of a port here. And it was like a weekend.
Yeah.
Went out of Long Beach. I must have been, I don't know, 8 or something like that, 8, 9. And I was at the Hellman's house and they were watching Jaws and I saw Jaws and then was going to get on this boat and was absolutely terrified. All I could think of, and it was like, of all the things I could have watched before our very first cruise as a child, that's how I saw Jaws for the first time, was at their house.
Alice and I were newly married, and her elbow is still black and blue from me grabbing at it. I'm the the world's #1 jump scare sucker.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much to get me.
He leaps. He really does leap. Why does Jaws work so well, do you think? Honestly, as we now know, because we know so much about the film, there are pieces of it that work by sheer luck, because the fact that Jaws, that the shark itself, the mechanical shark, broke, meant that Spielberg couldn't shoot it the way he had initially planned, which meant that a huge part of the story shifted immensely because you don't see the shark for so long. And when you finally do, it's absolutely terrifying. Like it's terrifying. But think about it. It's crazy to think that had that shark worked, how different would the film be? You know?
Yes. Well, this special goes into all that.
Yeah.
And
then John Williams' score, but more than just a score, 2 notes.
Yeah.
And 2 notes, talk about pop culture. 2 notes that almost everybody knows to this day. 2 notes, 50 years ago, this film, right? These are 2 notes that people know exactly what it is just from that. Isn't it crazy? Is there anything else like that? Is there anything else that short?
Psycho is
that
the
people,
closest thing.
Yeah.
That is true. You're right. Yeah, but I mean, it's crazy to think. It really is just that exists. Dave's saying, I am 60 and saw Jaws in Ocean City, Maryland, a beach town. The next day at the beach was a trip, I'm sure. My mom, was this when you were working at the sleepaway camp?
No, that was later.
Was that Psycho?
Oh, I was a hotel counselor.
That's what it was when Jaws happened.
Still Mountains. No, not
No,
Jaws.
Psycho.
For Psycho. That's what I'm talking. Yeah, I'm saying. But you talked about Jaws as well, that nobody wanted to go in the water, that it was still that kind of a reaction. I don't think people, I can't talk about for how long ago it was. I don't think people understand how literal that is. People really didn't want to go in the water. Not like, haha, I'm afraid of the water. Like they really didn't want to go in the water because they were afraid of Jaws. Which I think is healthy. It's a healthy fear to have. Oh dear, no. Patrick's asking if we've seen the Meg trilogy, and the answer is no. Have not seen the Meg trilogy.
Don't do horror films.
No. Even when it's just a really big fake shark, not a fan. 1 second. Let's see. Let me scroll down for a sec here, folks. Charles says, saw Jaws on opening day, first showing, Lakewood Center Theater, #1. I just turned 15 when I saw it. Yeah, I mean, as I say, it is really cool to see those things and to realize that that's how sort of special it was, that it sticks with you in that way.
Yeah.
Paul is asking, did you ever interview John Williams? He has.
Yes, I have. And he's just the loveliest man. He's kind. He's soft-spoken.
He's unassuming.
Yeah, he's unassuming.
Very unassuming.
Very unassuming and very down to earth. And that's a redundancy, but there we are.
Yeah. So was it a jazz event? What was the event?
Yeah, we were backstage.
You went out on stage, and my husband and I are sitting in a green room. In a tiny green room is also being generous for the space that we were sitting in. Yeah. It was a small white room. It's me, my husband, John Williams, and John Williams' daughter. And John Williams is a bit shy, not a chatterbox by any means. And so we'd sort of said hello and told him how much we adored him, and then left him alone because it was clear he didn't want to have a chat, which is fine. But then my husband and I just sat there going, it's John Williams. He's right there. It's John Williams.
I was making small talk with him, and I said, I know you did 2 albums of Western songs with Frankie Lane. This was back when he was Johnny Williams.
Yeah.
And was doing all sorts of work for hire before it became John Williams. And I said, I remember one was called Deuces Wild, but I can't remember the other one. And he smiled. He said, Hell Bent for Leather.
Hell Bent for Leather.
And they're
good grief.
They're damn good albums too.
It's too funny.
If you don't know who Frankie Lane was, he had
Mule Train.
Had a lot of big hit records in the 50s and 60s, and then sang, I don't know which one was first, the Gunfight at OK Corral, one of those, and then Rawhide, and he became known for singing these themes for westerns
Blazing Saddles.
to the extent that Mel Brooks
Blazing Saddles.
had to hire him to sing Blazing Saddles.
And he's so good.
Yeah.
I know him because there was a cassette first before CD.
Yeah.
My dad had these cassettes. It was called Maresy Dotes and 44 Other Wacky Hits. I memorized all of them and know them to this day. And one of the songs on there is Mule Train. Not a song you will hear anywhere, I would say.
Except in a roundup of hit records,
Yep. Even then though, not one you hear a lot, but one of my favorites. But yeah. Oh, Victoria says it's very sad to realize John that Williams can't live forever. He can't, but he kind of will, won't he? With the way that his music is so incorporated. I mean, that's the thing. The span of his career, the decades. Again, talk about sort of someone who has. I can't even imagine how many records he's broken at this point.
I mean, consider that he wrote the themes, which we all know.
Yeah.
For Star Wars.
Yep.
For Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah.
For Jaws.
Harry Potter.
Yeah. You can go on and on.
And I jumped to Harry Potter only to say that people that age know who he is. That's the thing about him. Again, I don't look up numbers and such, but he has to have broken, I don't even know how many records. The fact that
and Superman.
Yeah. The fact that a 90-year-old person knows his music and a 10-year-old person knows his music. I don't know how many can say that.
Yeah. When he was a session pianist, which is to say a pianist who,
for hire,
for hire, who would be called in for recording sessions for movies, for albums, for whatever. Henry Mancini made good use of him and had him at the keyboard for recording the theme song for Peter Gunn, Blake Edwards' popular TV series, detective series from the late 50s. And Williams made a suggestion for the vamp, the opening vamp that heard dot 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 dot. Originally, it went differently. He made the suggestion. Mancini said, "I like it," and so he had a hand in that too, or two hands.
Nice,
yeah.
Nice one. Dave is saying that the score to the new Superman is a love letter to John Williams. I'd read that and I'm so interested. Yes, of course, E.T. That's the list is so long you can't remember everything.
Yeah.
That tells you couldn't. The number of things we could it's wild. Isn't
he also in the bigger picture, he brought back the orchestral score at a time when a lot of filmmakers were going minimalist, or electronic, or indie.
Yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark. As I say, it's overwhelming how much. It's overwhelming how much stuff. Victoria's saying Remington Steele. Yeah, it is overwhelming. The list, we could all sit here for God knows how long and list off all the things that he's done. It is insane. It's insane. Yeah. Again, Craig is saying Robert Altman's Images and Long Goodbye, and then Schindler's List. Yeah, it's just crazy.
Images I haven't thought about in a while. That's a really interesting score. Very offbeat.
Yeah, exactly. Ben is saying if all he'd written was the Star Wars scores, he'd live forever. Well, again, that is what blows my mind, is that we could say that with many of the scores. If all he'd done was those two notes for Jaws, he would be known forever, right? If all he'd done was that, if all he'd done is go to a cellist, hey, play these two notes, that's it. And that's just, it's absolutely wild to think about it. And that is why my husband is not often starstruck, but I would say that one, he didn't even know what to do with himself. He was so excited and nervous to be there. It was, absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. Yes. And a bunch of you were mentioning also that his son is the lead singer of Toto, which is not a bad thing either. Not a bad way to go either. Yeah. As I say, these things that exist in pop culture, whether they are bits of music or a character, whatever it is, it's just, you cannot plan.
No.
You cannot plan.
No.
I mean, look, if you said to George Lucas, people are going to start a religion for you, literally, it's bonkers. And especially the way that he is, because he's not the chattiest most of the time. And he's not someone that necessarily wants to go in depth, about how everything, he doesn't really want to talk about himself all that much. But to think of what he created is kind of mind blowing.
I moderated what turned out to be a wonderful panel at TCM 8-9 years ago on Fiddler on the Roof.
Yeah.
With Norman Jewison, who produced and directed it.
Norman Jewison, who's not Jewish and directed Fiddler on the Roof, will always be a thing I love. Continue.
We made her an honorary Jew.
Right.
And Lynn Stallmaster, who cast it.
Yeah.
And John Williams. And the three of them, who all have known each other forever, were very comfortable with each other. Mm-hmm. And it was just a great, great conversation.
Who were you? It was Scorsese. That's what it was. Was it? Am I right? It was De Niro and Scorsese.
Yeah.
At the Egyptian that day.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember who he was with.
45 minutes.
No. The best is the phone call. Do you want to interview Scorsese and De Niro at the Egyptian for 45 minutes for the movie The Irishman? I don't know that we've ever yelled yes so loudly ever. And I thought about it only because you said the thing about comfortability is that you had Scorsese, who is happy to talk, next to De Niro, who, bless him, it's just not something he's great at. He doesn't want to be good at it. He does not enjoy it. He wasn't unhappy.
No.
He's not unpleasant or unhappy.
No, and he's comfortable with Marty.
Yeah. But yeah, that's to have the two of them is quite funny. Lottie, let me tell you. Lottie said, I said, bonkers, my British is showing. I am doing everything in my power to make sure that my child sounds as British as humanly possible. You best believe that when she puts on her swimming costume, which she does, her sun cream, not sunscreen, we take this very seriously. And then you put your trash in the bin. Very serious, Lottie. Very serious business. I saw the all Yiddish Fiddler in New York. It was wonderful. I'll bet. I will bet. No, it's isn't it funny to think of all the show that Fiddler on the Roof would be a show that kids do in high school?
Yeah.
Like of all the things, Bye Bye Birdie makes perfect sense. That is a show kids should do. Who in the hell thought Fiddler was the show that every child should somehow get forced to do at some point in their lives?
And
I was in it.
A wonderful production.
I did it at school.
Because you had a boy who was a perfect Tevye.
Willie.
And you were Frumacera.
I was indeed. I was Frumacera. I am a theater kid. I've done all the things everybody did. I've done all the shows everybody did. But it is funny to think that, perhaps when that was premiering, if you were to say, yes, kids in Spokane, Washington will be doing Fiddler on the Roof.
I had to remind your mother last weekend that the film of Bye Bye Birdie is a complete rewrite of the stage musical.
Yeah.
It has most of the original songs, not all, but they completely reworked the plot and put in, to me, irrelevant material and second-tier plot threads, and spoiled what is a very entertaining show.
Yeah,
it's just not the same.
There's another funny one though. Is Bye Bye Birdie. Kids who do Bye Bye Birdie sing the song Ed Sullivan.
Yes.
Most young people do not know who Ed Sullivan is. I've met people who've done the show and learned who he was. And there you have someone who, on his own, my God, was that man flat. I mean, and I remember asking my parents when we started watching some clips of that, and I was like, this is one of the most famous of your time, one of the most famous hosts, humans, in the United States of America. How?
Well, because of the Beatles. Forget Elvis, but I mean, not counting Elvis.
No, I get it. I understand that it was right place, right time.
Yeah.
It's just so funny to watch him next to these huge names who, in so many cases, were incredibly interesting and charismatic and all the rest next to him. who is just so the opposite of that, you know? So yeah, again, pop culture.
But people made fun of him then, just
Oh
so you
yeah,
know.
no, I know. No, I know it was never, never beloved in that way. But just fascinating to think that this person had access to all the folks that he had access to. You know, he's not the one you would think, yeah, that makes sense. That's the guy. You know, next to like when you have things like the Dinah Shore Chevy Show, when you have Andy Williams, folks like that who are performers, you know, who give something. But maybe that's part of it, is that he wasn't, and he was just introducing and bringing them forward. He wasn't detracting from any of the acts.
Right.
You know,
he was a presenter.
Yeah, he really was a presenter.
Yeah.
That's about what he could do.
Yeah.
It's wild.
And he was a Broadway columnist at a time when that meant something, in the era of Walter Winchell.
Yeah.
And others. Having a column that people read with ... ellipsis in between items, where you could, if he said something like, and Mitzi Gaynor a smash at Tacopa this week, that meant something.
Yeah. Ellipsis, by the way, is one of my very most favorite things, and I will tell you why. You can say anything about anything. The joke started when I was in Edinburgh working Fringe Festival, and you would read something that would say, this show was fantastic, ... it's a must see. And we always joked that in the middle there it was, this show is fantastic and the worst thing I've ever seen. It is a nightmare and you shouldn't miss it because it's one of the worst shows you'll ever watch. We just always say it's like you could take anything and put the ... in there. So it's like, oh, nobody will love this more than the audience ... that leaves. You know? So yeah, the ellipsis is a friend of ours. The ellipsis can do so very much.
The trick is how long the quote is.
Yes.
Between the ellipses.
Yes.
If it's ... wonderful ... be suspicious.
David says, I haven't seen a good plate spinner since Sullivan went off the air.
True.
Tell me about it, man.
True.
That is the way. There is something so wonderful about
Plate
watching some of that.
And cigar box juggling.
He loves cigar box
And
juggling.
Topo Gigio.
I was never into Topo Gigio, not as much as Senor Wences.
My dad really loves cigar box juggling.
Yeah.
And when I tell you really, I mean really loves it. And it's been a long time, but if we see a street performer and they've got cigar boxes, is a happy man. Is a very happy man. I love some of the old shorts you have on film where you get to watch some of that happening with the plates and the thing and yeah. I'm slightly shocked you never learned how to cigar box juggle though.
Well, I could do it.
I find that. I know, but I feel like for you, that would have been the next step.
It would have been.
It would have been, and I expect better than that. Yes, a few folks are talking about David Letterman. But again, this is what's so crazy. Time moves, right? You know, time moves forward. I always think, isn't it strange? I've said this to you guys. Imagine you're Jim Carrey and it's 1999 and you are one of the most famous human beings on the face of the planet, not just America, the planet. Imagine you're Mike Myers as the Austin Powers movies are coming out and everybody knows you and everybody knows those films and everybody's quoting everything. And then think about today. Now, in both cases, they still do some stuff and they're still recognizable, but it's not, it's not, I can't leave my hotel room famous. It's not, I can't go to the supermarket famous,
Yeah.
You could. And that is what's so crazy. And that's one of the big differences that I think about is just what must that be like to have had a moment where you were not just famous, you were, stratosphere. And one of the only people I think who's kind of maintained that level of fame is probably Tom Cruise.
Yes.
He may be one of the only ones that's been this level of famous for that long in terms of global acknowledgement.
It's true. And yet, look how many years pass between films now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he's managed that very well.
Yes. Yeah. No, The Love Guru is terrible. No, look, Mike Myers has made some really awful movies. But again, it's just kind of crazy to think that there was a time when Mike Myers was not just famous, he was huge. And again, not just huge here, but globally. And something like quoting Austin Powers, any of the Austin Powers' movies, everybody could quote stuff, even if it was only a short line. And that is the stuff that sticks with me, is that there are people, you know, or if you loved Wayne's World and that kind of thing. I mean, obviously SNL has had so many people over the years, you know, come out who just, you know, in some cases, like Adam Sandler, just had massive, you know, followings for a bit. Adam Sandler's another interesting one where he's had such a long career. And I don't know if people know all of his stuff or if he's as famous as he was, because there was a time when, again, he was so huge. I think people obviously still know him, but I don't know if it's the same level. Like would a 10-year-old know who he is? That's part of what I love asking when I get to be around kids who are around that age. I love just like, I treat them like science projects. I'm like, tell me what you know. Tell me what you're familiar with. I have questions, you know. It just interests me. Yeah, Shrek. Well, that again, Shrek. Imagine Mike Myers, Shrek. Hello, that has landed and stayed forever. It's crazy. Dave Poland says your father should know as well as anyone. They should be nice on the way up because we will see them on the way down.
That's absolutely true.
Oh yeah.
That's the whole thing, isn't it, Dave? That's the problem. It's you got to remember. That's why it's not. I mean, you should be nice just to be nice, but also, yeah, that. Craig is saying before we go, a word about Lalo Schifrin.
Well, he's on the map forever because that theme he wrote for Mission Impossible, when it was a weekly television show, which has now been remixed, rebooted, rearranged, and revived because of Tom Cruise in that series of movies. That's forever. That's a forever achievement. He wrote a lot of other good music, and he came out of the jazz world from Brazil as a protege of Dizzy Gillespie. So he has a great background and a lot of accomplishments. But the one, you know, that just one big asterisk.
Yeah, and you got to spend a bit of time with him.
A little bit,
you know. So that's always good.
So I think we're coming to the time where we're going to say goodbye.
Yeah, it's time for you to go back to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my Leonard back in a box and let him go back to bed.
I'm due for a nap.
You are due for a nap. It's so nice to be with you guys. Thank you for letting us bring you into the bedroom, the bedroom of Maltin. I hope that we will either be able to get you onto the couch next week, or if not, we'll be right back here. Yeah, we missed you guys. It's always nice to be with you. I'm waiting for you to say your thing.
Well, I'm going to save that for the very, 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 very end.
How's that going?
I mean it when I say be kind.
There you go. Bye, everybody.